Ladies and gents, good evening. Welcome to Question Time Live, episode 129. Wowzers, they're getting madder. And Happy New Year to you all as well. So I had a catch up. Was it just before New Year or Christmas? Can't quite remember. But yes, first one of the new year anyway. Incredible stuff. And I do hope you're all well. I'm back in the swing of it now. I've got to say, I don't feel back in the swing of it. What I am in the swing of is a tornado at the minute, I think. It's madness. It's amazing how them few days of switch off seem to just throw everything. Wow. I've not even got to putting any fish out for sale past 2 days. That's how bad it's been. So don't worry, I've got it covered, mate. Jet washing sorted. But anyway, all good. Love the chaos. Don't mind the chaos, but it is a lot, ladies and gents. It really is. So nice video dropped on the channel today. A review of the year gone by as well. If you haven't seen it, as soon as you're done on here with me, well worth the watch if you want to sit down and go through that one. The intro was rather funny. I mixed it up and went for a different approach. Trying to be a bit more polished, I was, and it just didn't work. It wasn't working, as you will see. But some nice fish featured on there as well, and I look back at a few things that have been quite cool. And then this weekend, Sunday, the big one, 8 o'clock. That's it. Sunday night, 8 p.m. on here. On YouTube. I forget this goes on Facebook now as well. On YouTube, the premiere of the documentary, and I tell you what, absolutely useless. I can't even remember what I've gone and called it. Bear with me a minute. And then on top tonight, as well as your questions, please feel free to start firing some in. I am going to be doing or showing you some Kibby fish that I've got available and looking amazing. Great. Really great potential pieces that I got on my last Japan trip that afterwards I'm going to be officially releasing for sale again with some of them. Did in Japan, but it was a bit half-arsed because of how busy I was there and dealing with back here, to be fair. So you might want to work your way into my Ricky Stoddart Nishikigoi group if you're not already. There is a link in the description for that one. One man's fight to save his koi pond and his passion, the documentary. It is an hour long. Took some fucking editing that did to polish it. Wow. But yes, please, it's the first attempt at this. I'm not promising there's going to be too many more of these to come because of how much work it took, and we were very lucky because Martin, whose pond we feature in it, had so much historic images and footage which really brought it together. That's when I saw the opportunity to do it, and hence how it came about. Just as a quick, not quick, just like, I tell you what, we can make a documentary here, Aaron, and away we go. That's the one. So yeah, happy days. Questions, ladies and gents, get some questions in. I'm going to get cracking in a moment. So yeah, other than that, I have, to be fair, today, I mean, 2 days on the bounce, have managed to get 2 ponds sorted because shipments, we've got two due in this month, which is part of the pressures because I've got to get the pond space prepped for it. And I've planned it all. I mean, it's quite shocking. Got a proper plan. It's just a case of executing on it, and there's been some sorting because a few of the big ponds were on growing programs until the end of last year, and so that's kind of fell into this week where it's needed sorting. And yesterday I had a quick sift through the golden corn swamp. I think there was 3 fish of customers that needed sorting, needed pulling out. Now the growing period was done. The rest are actually mine. It literally blew me away. I was stunned. I might go as far as to say this might be the best results I've had with a batch of fish, with a pond performance, all the rest of it. And we did get a great video done. I've actually just this afternoon, Aaron's got that finished and signed off. I had a look through. He's done a cracking job. So look out for that one. There's been the whole series of those, and this is the next part. I think there's going to be one more part at the end of March when I finish that completely with those. They're going to be going through till then for me to achieve what I want to size and volume wise. And then today, crazy one. My Sansai ponds, where I've mainly been doing Nisai to Sansai, but there's also my best 5 Marido Karashi in there that are Nisai. It was savage, absolutely savage. You know, the whole basis for the results I want to get, of what I know the level, how, you know, high level breeders that I'm around kind of get in length, then volume, and in pigment. And they were there. You know, my expectation for a Sansai from one of them farms is 65. You will drop a bit either side of it, depending where it's at and how the year's been in a mud pond. And they were, I mean, average. I think the smallest fish was 60. The Marido Nisai Karashis were primarily 63 cm, which is just mental. And then biggest, we had Magyuku Miyasagi, actually, Otsuka one. Fucking love that thing, 65 cm. And great volume on them as well. So I have kept a slightly, I say slightly, it was a reduced stocking to where I normally would be with those ponds. But it has really, really come together a treat. And the only thing I would say at those, and I mean it, I'm talking at a Marido or places like that, coming out of a mud pond, I would probably expect maybe 10-ish% more volume. Not always mind, but with the Sansai especially, because of their age and their ability to sort of carry weight. But I know it's just a bit of tinkering with that. Less stocking would have achieved that piece of piss. So yeah, I'm delighted. And I did capture that on a journal video. Then later on, I've just had to merge them with another pond for now. But later on, the whole lot's got to be sorted. They went in with the Sakai fish next door. So wowzers. Yeah, very, very happy. Right, ladies and gents, enough for me waffling. Like I say, we're going to have a look at these Kibby Tosai in a bit of detail. The bit I didn't really share in Japan was what I see in them, because I think they're the kind of fish, probably a little bit raw is how I describe them. So I think sometimes without, I'm just trying to send them files over actually, without explanation, you can often maybe look at them and just think, what's he raving about there? But I've also got a fish that I grew from a similar size from the same pond I managed to select at Kibby last year. I think last year he only let me have 3 fish altogether. I got a much better scoop this year after some serious bullying, to be fair. So while they're sending over, let's see what we've got going on. Evening, everyone. Love all the videos, Ricky. We definitely need it this time of year. Absolutely, mate. I have noticed, though, the nights, well, the mornings actually a bit better, but more noticeable. The night time seem to be finally drawing a bit. So happy days. Happy days. Big thank you to Ant today. Honestly, absolute grafter, coming and gives a dig out when he can. Amazing stuff, and on that jet washer. So thank you very much, pal. Let's whiz through these till we hit a question. Hi, Ricky. What treatments are safe to use if you have 0.6% salt? Thank you. The only one that isn't, I shouldn't say that really, should I? Right, formalin's a no-no. Malachite and formalin at that level of salt, no-no. Potassium should be fine. As far as I am aware, there is no, and I've used potassium at that level of salt as well. There's no reaction that goes on there whatsoever. Fantastic with it is acroflavin. Malachite green, Alparex as being acroflavin and malachite green, kind of on steroids, really, really well, depending what the issue is as well. What could I have missed there? Chloramine T, if you were using it, I said I'm not a fan of it. We'll not go into that, but perfectly fine with it. Most fluke treatments are perfectly fine with it. Well, praziquantel, flubendazole based, all along them lines. So most things, in all fairness, it's the formalin, malachite and formalin you want to stay away from. Is there a way to remove minor shimmies? Matt, you can scratch them off if you want to. Just be very, very careful. It's one of them, if you go too deep, you might damage the benny, but some shimmies can literally scratch with your fingernail. Dave, no, and that's for the groups, mate, not on here, but we'll get that rolled out at some point. Who are we going to win tonight? Oh, there's a point. There's a point. I am going to bugger off a little bit earlier than usual because I'm up at the farm at the minute to get home to watch Burnley show us how to play football. What a shit show. Wow. Yeah. Evening. Hi, Ricky. I need to move some fish to a new pond half an hour away. What is the lowest the temperature can be to move them safely? It can be cold. The issue with this is, depending on the circumstances they're going into, actually moving fish when it's or koi in general when it's cold is better for them in a lot of ways. The issue is if they move to the new environment and issues create, i.e. there's a stress event, if they're mixing with other fish and something viral kicks off, you might get one batch, going bright pink and laying over. Also, if it's a new pond, if you get any water spikes, parameter thing, anything like that, it's going to be harder to deal with. But yeah, I mean, I would say, safely, maybe around 8 degrees, you've got a bit of wiggle room to deal with it. 8 to 10, it is getting riskier and riskier the colder you go from that point on. Like I say, it is possible moving them. It's just the stress caused by doing it. They're not likely to be able to recover from all that well. What the hell's going on with my screen? Don't know if that's fixed it. Not looking good, is it? Bit glitchy. I've not even got any warnings on here, strangely enough. Anyway, I will carry on. In Danichi Toyota's indoor pond house and buy some other Japanese breeder. Sorry, buy some other Japanese breeder indoor ponds. There are big dark grey cylinders pond side. What are they? Yes, there is a model. If it looks like a bead filter, it is a bead filter. Some of them actually, big tall cylinders are to do with oxygen generation. So it can be either or. Some of the big tall cylinders can also be the bead filters, just a bigger model. So don't take me for everything on that. There's not many that use the oxygen generation. Sakai is one. I'm not quite sure at Toyota. I can't recall seeing them, so it could possibly be that's the filter automatic backwash bead that they use. And it's because of the automatic backwash. I believe these guys primarily use that as a mechanical device over biological, because there's not a shitload of capacity in there. But the automatic cleaning, obviously, they're good for flushing, catching crap and flushing it through. Ian and Ricky, when can I get one of these chags and get you growing it? Yes, they are, mate. When they're here for a start, when they're here, we'll have a look. But yeah, quite cool. He's referring to, there was on my video, the Kano has got he's produced chagoi from a pairing of Sakai chagoi, which will derive from Super Mango, paired with Marusei Ginrin Sorogoi. So another pool of huge genetics. And the Nisai that I've seen, it's not the first batch. So I think this is second year. The Nisai, the bodies on them were just like the Sakai stuff. It was ridiculous. Yeah, well, Ant's been jet washing today. That was his payment for the day to get to watch that pond. To be fair, yeah, Karashi's. It was the body mass as well. Absolutely ridiculous. No, I'd love to raise Kunishi Karashi. Just the situation, I don't actually know what the situation is with getting Kunishi fish. He's tied up with a guy in Europe, which affects the UK, I believe. So I think it's something I asked about years ago. I don't know what the crack is with it all, but obviously that is widely regarded, certainly from a jumbo perspective, as well as the absolute ultimate. They are insane things. In fact, the Marido Karashi, as they often do, derived from Konishi. Hi Ricky, I need to treat my 21,000 litre pond for Costia. I want to use Alparex as you have suggested in your video on parasites. Is it okay with sturgeon that can't be taken out of the pond? You would have to refer, I don't know off the top of my head, I've never tried it. Just from what I know of sturgeon, malachite and acroflavin should be okay. It's not a mass oxygen stripper. PP tends to be a big no-no with them, but please go with what advice it gives you on the ball with that one. But there's nothing jumping out to me there. Not massively familiar with sturgeon, to be fair. Paul Masters, I recently removed my shower off my pond and was thinking of keeping the media fully submerged instead in a bio unit. Can you see any issues with doing that? None whatsoever, Paul. Crack on, mate. Seems to make sense. Hey, Ricky, what is your definition of the monkey lines from Dainichi? A bloodline more than a variety grade? Yes, I think they have now. There's more variations that they're kind of chucking off a bit. I think they've come to the point, if you notice, like in the auction, I think they've had just gone or running, is that they've now put that as yellow monkey as the parent / bloodline. And the varieties generally is what they are, Ginrin Karashi, because they've got the white variants and bits and bobs. So it does make more sense really from that, because it never was. It became the yellow monkey tag attached to it. It was quite fascinating, but ultimately it was always a Ginrin Karashi is what that started with. The filters you are designing, are they just for you or will they be available to purchase? John, at this moment, they are just for me. And I have no plans because, to be honest, there would be a huge, for what that cost me that's there, you'd be in, as you can probably imagine from the materials and everything, the only bit missing from it is the drum components. The rest of it, cost-wise, is quite high. And I'm not sure it would go down that well, to be honest, or the best solution for it. I think the side I find quite appealing as a concept is the fact that the bespoke element in it all. I just think sometimes with garden sizes and things these days, you end up, it's kind of fitting a square peg into a round hole sometimes with the off-the-shelf solutions. And one thing, being quite honest, with the whole drum, take feelings about drums to one side, the drum combi systems, with the fucking price of them and knowing how they're made, that they are basically handmade / manufactured, I think there could be more flexibility in all that, and they're better as two component parts regardless. So, but yes, John, right now, no is the answer to that one. What treatments are a no-no? Potassium is a no-no. I'm not sure. I think formalin as well don't go down too well, and some fluke treatments can send them a bit wappy. But again, I'm no sturgeon specialist. That's just from my days selling them in my dad's shop and having them kicking around up here. And I know we've used to forget all the time and send the things going crazy. I'd bail them out. It was madness. Thank you. Purely a new pond, no new fish. Fair enough, Jason. Evening, mate. Could there possibly be a video on your dad's place? Got some ranchu, as you know it. Yeah, nice, mate. Happy days. Speak to him, pal. He's got a camera and a thing. I think his WhatsApp group going as well. So I'm not sure what he posts in that all the time. Evening, Ricky. You've often mentioned microchip fish. Is that something that the breeders undertake ahead of shipping, or a process you undertake at the farm? Yes, it's something we do here. There's a few breeders who sell a lot of single-coloured fish, referred to there, Dainichi, yellow monkey. Just because they're being kept, it makes sense, because identifying them is an absolute joke. You get to the point where you're looking for slight variations in the fins and in the scale line pattern zoomed in. It's stupid. So for us, it kind of makes sense to be able to branch out into that world with a lot of the raising that we do with fish that we sell. But then I think the big bit for me is, as we're looking, the systems that we're building out to manage all of this, I think it's eventually going to be a route that we go down where we implant a chip in every fish at the point of photographing it and listing it for sale, because then just it makes sense kind of from a systems perspective. We can just, it takes all the hassle out of ever getting it wrong, and we can identify fish through a tag number. The basis will be, we can then, with the system that we're almost about to implement, we're going to be able to get the full history, movements of it, you name it. It's going to be a pretty cool and advanced bit of kit. So that's ultimately going to be at the heart of it. Should you ever need it, then your side, if there's anything, I've not heard too much of koi theft and bits and bobs recently, but I do remember a spell in the industry where it was horrendous what was going on in that side of things. So it's always there, and they can be identified through that chip. Just bear with me 1 minute, folks, because I'm just trying to find the last video I need to send over. Oh, there it is. I was the 5 minutes I had before I got on here to do this, it all went to shit for some reason. They weren't sending in the normal way. Oh, now it's decided it's doing it. Fantastic. Oh, that makes life a bit easier. Cool. Right, next one. Yeah, it was a good laugh. Aaron had a good laugh. I didn't realise Twat just kept recording all along as well. He's quite clever how he does it. I think he stood there just laughing along with me, but he's actually still just recording. Colour more than anything. You're talking more of a goldy bronze to bluey grey on that one. James, that'll all be in the groups, mate, towards the end this week, possibly over the weekend early. Susan will be sending out more and more info into the groups on that one. There you go. For the guys talking about the sturgeon, I've used Alprex and Lernex in the past, have no adverse effects. That's just his experience. Fair play. Amy and Ricky, and what size are you expecting, hoping to get on those Kibby toe side? That is exactly the video I was just sending over, and I'm actually now, because it'll be easier, going to resend the pictures, seeing as I was sending in that way. Oh, there we go. Right. Yes, we will come on to that. I'll not get into it now, but we will we'll get to that when we have a dive in a moment. Hi Ricky, out of all your koi collection, which one is your favourite that you have grown? Oh God, there's too many. There really is. Let's stick, just for ease right now, the Sankey that is referenced in the year review video that I did is one that I am thoroughly enjoying at the moment. Today, the Gyakume Asagi, another one. It's a long-term project, that one though. It's one that Benny's taught. It's teasing at the minute. Teasing is what it's doing. No, mate, he doesn't have a YouTube channel that I'm aware, but it's all the fancy goldfish that he does. And I can't believe right now I've just hit the bottom. Oh, there we go. Luke's just hit another one. Hit the bottom of that. I'll say that. I like it. Just keep going then. What got you into koi? It was there in, obviously my dad had a retail shop called Wellesby Aquatics for 16, 17 years, I think. And he was selling fish before that, markets, you name it. So I got told that when I was 2 years old, there was a 6-foot fish tank full of fancy goldfish. It might explain the Tamasamba thing a bit here. That was the easiest way to get me to sleep, was to stick me in front of it in a pushchair. So how's that for conditioning? And then they were just always around. And the next house, he had a set up big pond and some other holding tanks. And it was just in there that I think started showing an interest in it when I was about 10. And quickly sort of claimed one of the fish as my own. And it just went from there. I remember sitting down with a book Well, I've been that same year, I had all the varieties in, and just saying that I intended to learn every variety in that year, and probably no doubt did. So that the obsession just literally kicked on from that point and hasn't stopped, and has just continued getting worse and worse for the best parts of well, what, 24 years now. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Right, what I'm going to do, let me load up these pictures, and we shall take a look, because I think it's we've not really done much koi appreciation stuff at the minute. So these Kibby Kibby is a relatively new breeder. He's actually in Okayama. It's about 40 minutes from Momotaro, and it's been impressing me since I've gone. I saw him sort of cropping up in the auctions, and with it being new, I sort of stood off it for quite a while, because I just worry. It's more from a biosecurity perspective, not wanting to jump on it. It was almost to see if there's going to be an issue, let somebody else discover it, and I don't want to risk it. It just wasn't worth it. Although I like to kind of get in there on new stuff, it didn't feel worth it to me. So left it. But when I did eventually go, was it first time last year? I think actually visiting, or the year before it might have been. I'm not 100% sure. I was very, very impressed. It's a really, really small setup, but he does a great job. He's got some good bloodline. His fame, really, and the big interest, I think, has come from the Goshki Sankey that he produced. Really something quite unique. Not a lot of that stuff around whatsoever. You've seen maybe Goshki Showa and been kicking around, but yeah, to stabilize them. And when I got to obviously talk to him, I've got hold of some as well. They've done really well. They've grown really well. The bloodline behind it was really, really impressive as well. You know, just like when Taniguchi with the Golden Corn, they made these unusual varieties, actually got the genetics packed into them as well, which for me is incredibly important. And then you obviously get the body supporting that. It makes the whole package a damn sight a lot more interesting. The Ginrin Showa then. So the Showa is what I've been primarily buying. When I got last year into the pond, I wanted to get into, and he let me in to get a few pieces. It was mainly Ginrin Showa I went for, and the Showa. So the Showa all derived from Eastern bloodline. And I think the big thing I noticed with Kibby, and it's a word I will use, I don't often use this too much with koi, but they are very beautiful in their appearance. They've got great patterns, lovely skin quality. They're very, very attractive looking Showa with very strong genetics and good size potential as well. So to be able to get access in such a pond is very rare. These are fish that he would have been growing on or doing something more with later in the year. So to get them now, and honestly, these ponds are horrible because they've got so much glare on them. Fish are small. He's catching them with a net. We're not netting it up because he don't want to with something like that. So it's really, and just that slight haze in the water. So it takes a lot of time. I'm there almost with my face on the water. And generally, if you miss it with a net, you can be waiting some time for it to come back round as well. But nonetheless, got it done. And what I actually ended up with are fish that I'm bringing back here, and including growing with me through till the end of September to really get the size on them. And then there's actually some really high class pieces that he agreed to keep there. They are quite heavy with the price as well, but for me, spectacular. Two of them, to be honest, or one I'm looking at thinking that could, I'm fingers crossed it'd be male, could be a nice candidate for a pair of fish. But what I'm going to show you first of all is just the results, because this is important to bear in mind. It's a slightly different style of fish, this, because as a younger fish, as you'll see, the sumi was up a bit. But I think the interesting thing with this show I'm going to show you was that it looked very condensed. And I often hear people say when they see a tosai like this, oh, it's going to be too heavy with the sumi. And then you see what's happened when we get the size and everything sort of stretches out on it. A few of the ones I picked this time are relatively similar, and a couple, very different, as in the sumi needing to come to the fore. But I know it can be hard to picture. But bear in mind with these fish, if they're from his best fish, I had free reign of the pond, and I've spent all that time trawling my eye through there to get the pieces that I got. There was no, no, you can't have it. It was just priced it all accordingly. So pretty cool. And I'm going to be dropping these afterwards again in the Ricky Stoddart Nishikigoi WhatsApp group tonight. So feel free. Link, I know it's in the description. Got it all updated. And right now, please enjoy this video. So you can see it there. Look, if I let me just, we'll play it again in a minute, but the change, and that's up to about 46 cm now, I think it was. And this is one that was actually in my cesspit that had a period where they weren't doing anything as well. So it's really caught up nice. It'll have a bit longer growing to catch up the time that it's lost. I mean, look how powerful it is. And to be honest, I've not even pulled that Benny up to the highest level I know I can get that to right now. But if you look there, look, it did look quite heavy and condensed, and you can just see how it grows, it stretches out. You get more refinement and thickening in the shiroji. It masks part of the sumi, especially that bit behind the head that was a window. That's really an important part in the pattern now. But you can see that's actually a male fish, and you can see how powerful that bone structure still is. It's going to be a very, very big-bodied piece moving forward. So I think that certificate said that started at 20 cm. These are just a tiny bit smaller at the time. I think we're around 16 to 18 cm. But absolutely no, in my mind, no reason as to why they won't be, these pieces won't be achieving similar. So let me drop this on. So the pieces I'm going to show you, we've got marked at £795. They come with Kibby certificates as well. And that includes the growing fee through to the end of September, where they're going to be at. But you just see that, look. First of all, as ever, you're looking at that bone structure, and it's not the easiest to see, but look at the mouth on that and how wide the mouth is. Really important characteristic. And then that flow of the sumi, you see the colours just divine. Really like it, and I like where you can see sumi kind of flowing and counteracting in the pattern, helping create that overall balance and impression. But you're not getting the full impact of the shiroji at the minute really either. With that, that's what's going to come with that next step, to the point where I'd say that's probably primarily going to look a bit more kindai as it actually gets the age and the size on it. We've got to remember, when I'm looking at these, I don't look, it's just I don't scrutinize it too much. There's so much got to happen, i.e. I don't look at Motoguro in the fins, because what Motoguro you can see there, that'll all have fell back at this next growth phase, and the real stuff will start coming through at Nisai onwards. This thing is really how I like Showa, and why, when I say about the balance of all three colours, it's got a really cool, interesting head pattern. Again, Motoguro, ignore it, that's going to fall right back in the fin. But just look at how that sumi pattern could flow amongst where that Benny pattern sat. That's such an exciting fish for me. They've got a real high quality Marazomi Kiwa as well, and lovely Sashi. That's exciting. That is exciting right there for where that could go. And then this is really the sort of fish I pick a lot. And for me, I think what got this one, again, you can see the skin. I'm not looking at the Motoguro once again. But for me, you look at that kind of the flow that Benny pattern's got, and where I can see sumi sat, that looks like it's going to balance off against it all throughout the pattern. The way the head's forming, you can see early signs of sumi there as well. This is the one where it is more so we are waiting on the sumi. What I have seen from the Kibby is it's fairly reliable stuff coming up. So yeah, these are banging prospects. They really are. And then we've got the Ginrin. Can't not be having a bit of the Ginrin. Still one of my, I love Ginrin Showa. I don't have enough of them, to be honest. Certain places where I want them from, it's hard to get them in any kind of volume, but probably no doubt something at some point when I feel like I've sort of created a Showa line I'm happy with, a Ginrin variant will definitely be on the cards for me. But again, just look at that. And it's not going to be too heavy. You can actually see where the Sumi seems to be fitting amongst the Benny. But if you follow the flow and how that can be really interesting head pattern, you can already see where that memoir is actually sat under. The interesting thing with this one is I actually anticipate this could have the highest level of Sumi, because I'm looking at the Motoguro and you see it's already really tight in the fin, which is a characteristic we look for in super high level Sumi. And it's sat off the front ray. And I'm seeing early signs even of that development. And what's on the body is primarily Sumo Sumi, which always forms in that type of style. But again, you look at the bone structure, really strong, powerful head, really wide mouth, just all these things. In small fish, when you see them characteristics, it's just dreamy. But you look at all throughout them, look, and they've got that head characteristic, the whole lot. Good length on the head as well. Really, really important stuff. It really is. This one is quite a jump up price wise. I can't remember what it was. Again, I will get it in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, I mean, wowzers. You can see it's kind of cranked up through the gears for me. Very much a Kindai Showa in the making with that slightly sparse Benny. There's this interesting characteristic you see here that on the back down of the pattern, you can actually see the scales look slightly separated. And this is something I was first introduced at Taniguchi. It's like, God, that colour's breaking up. Then to watch it year after year where it's just actually not formed together properly as it's filling out, it's been quite remarkable. But I mean, yeah, wow. That same characteristic with the Motoguro in the fin look. You can already see some of that Sumi. It's layered up where it's sat on the Benny, which tends to happen quicker. But me looking at where it's going on the pattern, even the Sumi I can see sat under the skin. I can see where the Shiroji's in and amongst it. Very, very exciting piece. It was a fine line. I was actually going to keep that one in Japan. But with me having keeping a few of the others, I felt like I'd like to bring that back and actually enjoy growing that one over here, in all honesty. And then, what have we got? So yeah, there is actually one I am going to sit on because I want it to be a parent fish. But this is one of the ones staying in Japan. And I think this is got Screaming Koi Show at some point. It's just the dreamiest Ginrin Showa. It really is. With the quality, the structure of that pattern. So that's big block of Subo Sumi mid-body look. Technical, you've got the Odame, quality of the gin. Just smart. When I saw that, I can't remember if that was actually the first one I pulled up. It's phenomenal. So yeah, that right there, I think, is a great representation of Kibby and what you kind of I've come to expect to see when I go. And then this is just savage. That really is. This was the one. This is a pricey, punchy fish, because the minute there's a phrase in Japanese, takai is what when you hear that word in a fish house, you know you've got a pasting coming. And there's another variant of it is choto takai. When they say that, that's very, very expensive. When I heard that one, I was like, oh fuck. And it don't get any better when you see it in bowl either. You just think, oh my God, I mean, it's just such an easy fish to picture as well, isn't it, where it's going. If it delivers on half of what it's looking to promise, it's going to be phenomenal. But so yeah, I'd say that's two of the three staying in Japan. I think that's one for me. When I say that's a fish that explains itself, what I'd be interested to know is what you guys think of that one in particular. Is it clear? You know, I can see there's early signs of Motoguro. I can see it's already tight in the base off the front ray. It's just not yet up, and it just needs time. I know a fish like that just needs time. There's no guarantees of the Sumi coming up, but the way I can already see it breaking gives me confidence that given that time, it will get there. But dreamy, dreamy fish. Love to know what you think of them, ladies and gents. And I see you fired me a few more questions in. But just as a reminder, look, let's, it's not that one, is it? Here we go. So like I say, this is the result of one of the ones that I've grown. Banging result. And I think that's a fish that is likely going to be offered before long, and with a growing option from Nisai to Sanzai next year as well, because there's so much more to come from that piece right now. And male with that bone structure. And you can see that mouth size look as well. Really, really great attribute. I think female parent, if I remember right from the conversation with him, is around 80, 85 cm. So cracking size on that one. Right, probably got about 10 more minutes, ladies and gents. While I've got a lot more of you tuned in, before I forget, please join me this Sunday at 8 p.m. on YouTube for the live premiere of the documentary. Forgot the fucking name of it again. Here we go. One man's fight to save his koi pond and his passion. So this covered the story of a koi keeper. I'll not give too much of it away, but the basis of it is it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. Years of fighting a bacterial problem that I went in to deal with. So yeah, the whole story is explained, the way it eventually got fixed and whatnot. So great watch, great pond, great fish. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. And a shitload of work and time got into it from myself, Aaron as well, with his edits, tested us both massively, producing this something completely different for the channel and for you guys. So it'd be amazing if you can join it. It's on the channel now. If you can also get on there, hit share, band it around wherever you can, so as many people as possible tune in. Because one thing I will guarantee you is there'll be something to be learned from it one way or another, which is part of the reason Martin wanted the story told and agreed to do it. So awesome. Right, let's see where we got to. Family Japan trip. Yes, we talk about it. It's getting it nailed down in it and getting it done. Like I say, both kids have been. Wife hasn't yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. We will have some Akamatsubas this year at some point. They're in the planning. There's bookings and whatnot been made. So yes. What's your thoughts on ozone? Not used it, obviously familiar with it, seen ponds running on it. It does not fit my keep it simple mantra, and I would not be going around. It's not something I would encourage anybody into whatsoever. Hi Ricky, I have no nitrate problem, no ammonia problem, no parasites. I have fish flashing, not often. I do have high nitrate, but looking at your other videos, yeah, to be fair, if it was a nitrate problem, my fish wouldn't stop flicking. So I don't think you're there, Philip. Might be worth looking a bit deeper. Chlorine testing for your incoming water, and maybe even going one further and maybe some metals testing or something along them lines. Well worth looking at. Yes, they are. He really has created something good, old Kibby. Sankey looking good this year as well. Really looking good. Do you have many Sankeys with no underlying sumi, but it just pops up super thick and random? I have a heroic Inrin Sankey, completely off in summer. No, it's so exciting. But Chris, it can do, pal. The UV could have been what's popped it off. It was quite a strong, intense summer, weren't it, in a lot of ways? So it could just be that now is the ideal time of year with less light intensity to get it through. Is Saito looking to grow his facility? It looks so cramped, Saito. So no, I don't think he is. Saito's been like that for years. Customer removal last time, to be fair, so I don't know why I don't just fucking clean this place up. It'd be able to fit another pond or two in, let me tell you. But Saito's biggest strength actually lies in his mud ponds. He's got a lot of mud pond infrastructure. Actually punching really for a farm of his size, he's doing really well in that respect, which when he knows how to use it and utilize it properly, helps him do all right. But remember, it's a big Japanese thing. They're not always looking to expand the whole art form, and some of them know there's a chance they might lose control, that obsession with quality and detail by expanding, making things bigger. You know, the stories of people with ramen shops that have had like 8 seats for forever. They could double it, but they just won't because they're too frightened it'll fuck with the whole thing. And it's yeah, very, very Japanese thing. With new ponds and nitrite spikes, any advice on dealing with it other than water changes? Pause it. I'd stop the water changes with nitrite spikes. You want some stability, heat and stability, and a consistent level of food, and ride the spike out. Salt it, ride the spike out. Don't back off. This is one of the problems you've got. You know, if it's a new pond, you know, ideally like sort of 18 degrees. The warmer you get, the better it'll be. If it's once you've hit some maturity, if you've got a spike still, you might want to look at your retention times within your filters and possibly slowing some things down a little bit. Eric, is your Miss Toyota breed personal project as hobby, or do you breed them mainly for selling? It's just something I wanted to do. Daniel, it's part of my dream. My dream right now is to become a koi breeder in Japan. It's something I really want to challenge myself to do. And that's just the first one. I had the fish that I had in mind for it. I had the opportunity to do it and have done. The fish, a lot have been sold at a substantial amount. The event for them is actually next weekend over here. And I've still got some tatigoi in Japan. It's the start of the journey. So, yeah. Long may it continue. Oh, that's into the that's talking about the Kibby fish. That sumi's not faded. That sumi hasn't been up yet. That's the point, and it takes time, especially like on that last one, for example. That sumi that is sat deep in the skin. That's why it shows us that grey now, and over time it comes up until it starts forming as ink at the surface. That particular style of sumi will be the richest, inkiest black when it achieves absolute top, you know, formation over time. What's plans for the next grow on after Toyotas? I say that we have got something lined up, bit naughty as well. Let's just say it's time for Battle of the Breeders again, because yeah, the stars have aligned. So there'll be some news on that one soon. Oh, there we go. That's the documentary. There we go. Hit that like button. We've got a few more minutes, ladies and gents. Does the thought of microplastics and koi ever concern you? I always look at fluid beds knocking all that K1 together. I wondered if it could affect the koi, certainly long term. No, Dan, it don't. I've only ever seen fishing fluid bed based ponds is always the best koi water I've seen. So no, it doesn't bother me. I've never ever thought of that in the slightest. Yes, there we go. That's in reference to Saito. And I've hit the bottom again. What's going off tonight, ladies and gents? That's madness. Are you run out of questions? Are we 129 hours into this and we've got nothing new to ask? I doubt very much that that's the case, but I am going to take it this week, seeing as though I want to get home. So yes, when I have got that done, when I am back while that match is on, no doubt boring me to tears. Hopefully not. I'll be posting those Kibby fish out. So once again, if you would like to join and you're not in it already, that link to that group is in the description. I don't need to mention documentary again, do I? No. And just stay tuned for what is coming on the channel, ladies and gents. And yeah, the start of what's hopefully going to be another epic year. I've been on the phone to Fujo a hell of a lot recently for some of the stuff simmering in the background, which is amazing. And it's actually a few bits coming together way quicker than I hoped. But for now, yes, I'm going to shoot because it's also getting very cold in this office. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will catch you all next week.